بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Are you ready? Inshallah ta'ala. I'm going to just give you very quick points bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and then after that we're going to move on to the next inshallah ta'ala segment of our Taraweeh inshallah ta'ala reflection or booster bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And the first advice or the first lesson, one of the verses that was recited tonight was about being good to our parents. وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. We need to open our ears right now, very important. We have to be dutiful and caring to our parents. So what is the message tonight? قدم اليوم هدية لوالديك وقل لهما قولا يعجبهما بإذن الله تعالى. So what you need to do tonight is, inshallah ta'ala, you need to give your parents a gift. Are you ready to give your parents a gift tonight? You can go out, get them a takeaway. What do you think? But healthy one, yeah? Grill the stuff. Okay? Make sure that you get something for your parents either tonight or maybe tomorrow. You can't even send them money. No problem, inshallah ta'ala. Get them a hadiyah, inshallah ta'ala, a gift to your parents. That's the first point tonight. The second point tonight is to do with the importance of taking care of the aitam. Okay? The people who are underprivileged, especially those who have lost their parents, the orphans. That's the second point, inshallah ta'ala. The third point is, استعذ بالله من شر الغفلة. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you from the danger of what? The danger of heedlessness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said regarding this issue, وَجَعَلْنَا عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ أَكِنَّةً أَنْ يَفْقَهُوهُ وَفِي آذَانِهِمْ وَقْرًا وَإِذَا ذَكَرْتَ رَبَّكَ فِي الْقُرْآنِ وَلَّوْا عَلَى أَدْبَارِهِمْ نُفُورًا. If your heart is sealed, khalas, you will not be able to get any heed from the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the Quran. So these are the 3 points. What were the 3 points? Give your parents what? A gift. Number 2, take care of the orphans. Number 3, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you from al-ghafla or heedlessness. Inshallah ta'ala. These are the 3 points. Also tonight we were reciting which surah? Which surah have we just finished? Aerospace. Surah Al-Isra. This surah teaches us how arrogant the people of Makkah were. وقالوا لن نؤمن لك حتى تفجر لنا من الأرض ينبوعا أو يكون لك بيت من زخرف أو ترقى في السماء ولن نؤمن لرقيك حتى تنزل علينا كتابا نقرأه أو يكون لك جنة من نخيل وعنب فتفجر الأنهار خلالها تفجيرا أو تسقط السماء كما زعمت علينا كسفا أو تأتي بالله والملائكة قبيلا. Look at how arrogant those people were. Very arrogant. They used to say to the Prophet ﷺ some disgusting stuff. Okay? If you're a prophet, why this doesn't happen? Why can you do this? Can you do that? So it was crazy stuff. Until the Prophet ﷺ made hijrah from where? From Mecca to Medina. How many of you have traveled between Mecca and Medina? Raise your hand. Everybody who's in this masjid who has been given the opportunity to travel from Mecca to Medina. Okay. Alhamdulillah, good number of hands. How did you travel from Mecca to Medina? By taxi? By coach? By coach, yeah? Everybody coach. Okay, what about taxi? Somebody used taxi? Okay, alhamdulillah, small car, yeah? Somebody used a train? How many of you have used a train? Okay, very good. How many of you have actually cycled from Mecca to Medina? Raise your hand if you cycled. I have a special guest for you tonight. Come here, brother. I have a special guest here for you tonight. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. This is our brother Yasir. He has done that extraordinary thing. All of you have asked you, have you traveled between Mecca and Medina? You said yes, some of you. Did you get there by coach? You said yes. By taxi? Yes. By train? Yes. Cycling, everybody said, no, we have never even thought about it. We have the brother who did it. Say mashallah, everyone. Recently, I was saying to you, like, if you have a talent, mashallah, let me know. We want to discover your talent. Alhamdulillah, brother Yasir, he has love and alhamdulillah, passion for cycling. And he cycled to different places in the world. But the most special, the place that's the most sacred place that he has actually cycled is between Mecca and Medina. So I'm going to ask him a couple of questions. Brother Yasir, wow. How did the idea even come to you to begin with? Because many of us, we have never ever thought about that. How did the idea come to you to begin with?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulullah. Jazakallah khair. May Allah protect our Sheikh. Say Ameen, everyone. The idea came originally, I wanted to do back in 2021, Hajj ride from London to Mecca. But unfortunately, due to COVID, we couldn't do it. Then that year, we ended up doing Land's End to Jonah Groats, which is about 1,000 miles, over 9 days back-to-back cycling, alhamdulillah. That was raising funds. Hijrah ride is the pinnacle of any Muslim cyclist cycling between Mecca to Medina. It's just a friction of what you do, what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went through, and the Sahaba traveling between Mecca to Medina. We didn't have horses, camels now, so the closest thing we could do was a bike. So with a road bike, this was for a charity. We raised, alhamdulillah, about 300,000 pounds for Palestine and Gaza. So this is when you combine your hobby with a purpose. And we really encourage everybody in the community. So the idea came from that we should do the closest possible something Hijrah ride is called. Some of the route was closest to Shara Hijrah, which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam been on that road. It can't be described in words. Inshallah, you have to do it to feel it.
MashaAllah. Can you give us like the spiritual feeling that you felt as you were cycling? How long did it take you to cycle? How did you used to rest? How did you get a permit to do it? All of these things, inshallah.
So it was all organized by our cycling club based in Yorkshire. These are the guys who, mashallah, reached out to the officials in Saudi. It was a 10-day trip, 3 days of stay in Mecca. We did Umrah and we just rested well. Then after that, 3 days of solid cycling. So on day one, we did 117 miles. We started 2 a.m. 2 or 3 times, despite having the permits and everything, we were lovingly stopped by the police just to take photos with us. And so we completed day one. Day two, we stayed in Badr, alhamdulillah. In Badr, we stayed not far from Jabal Malaika and Masjid Arish. So alhamdulillah, it was a unique spiritual experience. Again, as I said, you can't describe it in words. You have to do it to feel it. The temperatures were really, really hot, for us especially. So that's why we started on day one at 2 a.m. from Mecca. But as you get closer to Medina, it gets cooler and cooler. And alhamdulillah, Badr to Medina was again a unique experience. You look at the mountains, you look around you, and you just try to imagine Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam must have seen these mountains. He's been breathing in this air, and may Allah give us a portion of that, and may Allah fill our hearts. You feel your love pumping in your body, in your veins. You feel the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with every pedal stroke. It's so much so, I've signed up for 2026 now. For in January next year, we're doing it again, inshallah. And raising funds for another charity.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. How many of you will be going on this trip, inshallah ta'ala? We have some volunteers, mashallah. You see, you've already, mashallah, you can see, mashallah, inspiring the next generation, inshallah ta'ala. And Jazahullah khair, Brother Yasir, mashallah, for inspiring. One question, mashallah, uncle. Yeah, by cycling.
How many hours it took to you that journey?
Mashallah. How many hours? Yeah, how many days?
So it was 3 days. 3 days it took us, but obviously we were starting early in the morning. We had people with different abilities. So it caters people with different capabilities, abilities, physical strength. So we had to stick to that brotherhood bond rather than I need to finish it first. So it took us on day one, 117 miles, about 12 hours just on the saddle. And then next day, 8 hours, and the last day again, 13, 14 hours, because you have to carry some brothers, help them, push them. It's a real camaraderie, that brotherhood you see. The friends I made, 38 people did it. And 38 of us became like a family, a very strong, and that's the true sense of ummah you feel.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. And hopefully we will have the plan to do. The brother also, he does hiking, mashallah, as a hobby, also cycling. And inshallah ta'ala, the masjid will start the Alfurqan cycling and hiking team, inshallah ta'ala. And this is something that we'll start. What do you think, Yasir? Is that a good idea, inshallah?
One thing I wanted to say, we want to start, get rid of KFC and start AFCC, so Alfurqan Cycling Club, inshallah. So we are looking for cyclists, inshallah. We will be setting up a club here, and we want brothers to join us, inshallah, for hiking and cycling.
I have to be the first one because I have to get rid of this. Hayakumullah wa iyyakum. Well done, mashallah. Say mashallah, everyone. Allahu Akbar. You see, alhamdulillah, this is the ni'mah of brotherhood, mashallah, discovering talents that the brothers have and the great hobbies that they have, and also the great achievements, mashallah, cycling between Mecca and Medina. Allah gave me the opportunity to travel between Mecca and Medina tens of times, alhamdulillah, drove between Mecca and Medina, mashallah, by coach, I even drove myself many times, but I've never seen someone cycling on the highway. This was the first ever time, subhanAllah, I've heard about it and so forth. But alhamdulillah, I'm so happy to have a member of our congregation from Masjid Al-Furqan who has done that, alhamdulillah. Yes, Ammu. Okay, mashallah, very good. Do we have someone, okay, uncle is asking, or are we going to try and do it, inshallah ta'ala? Someone who actually rode a camel from Medina to Mecca. Do we have one? Inshallah ta'ala, we will attempt to do that as well, inshallah. It's good day, na'ammu. Wallah, it's good day, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan. And make sure when the club starts from Masjid Al-Furqan, inshallah ta'ala, the hiking and also the cycling, you should become a member, inshallah ta'ala. And as I have said, I will have to be almost the first one because I need to get rid of this weight, inshallah ta'ala. Make dua for me, inshallah. Hayakumullah wa biyakum. Because of the time, Muhammad Aziz, you want to say something? Allah, beautiful. MashaAllah, Brother Muhammad Aziz said we can even do fundraising for the masjid by doing that. Say MashaAllah. That was a great idea as well, inshallah. Hayakumullah wa biyakum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our brother Yasir and everyone who was part of that team who have fundraised for, MashaAllah, our brothers in Gaza. For Gaza, MashaAllah. Hayakumullah wa biyakum.